इटली के नागरिकों ने उन्हें प्रथम महिला एवं सबसे युवा प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में चुना। इस ऐतिहासिक उपलब्धि पर मैं उन्हें सभी भारतवासियों की ओर से बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। उनके कार्यभार संभालने के कुछ दिनों बाद ही बाली में G20 समिट के दौरान हमारी पहली बैठक हुई थी। फ्रेंड्स, हमारी आज की चर्चाएं बहुत ही सार्थक और बहुत ही उपयोगी रही। इस वर्ष भारत और इटली अपने द्विपक्षीय संबंधों की 75वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहे हैं और इस अवसर पर हमने भारत इटली साझेदारी को स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का निर्णय लिया है। हमने अपने आर्थिक संबंधों को और सुदृढ़ करने पर जोर दिया। हमारे मेक इन इंडिया और आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान से भारत में निवेश के अपार अवसर खुल रहे हैं। हमने रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन, आईटी, सेमीकंडक्टर्स, टेलीकॉम, स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग बढ़ाने पर विशेष जोर दिया। भारत और इटली के बीच एक स्टार्टअप ब्रिज की स्थापना की घोषणा आज हम कर रहे हैं, जिसका हम स्वागत करते हैं। फ्रेंड्स, एक और क्षेत्र है जो दोनों देश एक नया अध्याय शुरू कर रहे हैं और वो है रक्षा सहयोग का। भारत में डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में को प्रोडक्शन एंड को डेवलपमेंट के अवसर बन रहे हैं, जो दोनों देशों के लिए लाभदायक हो सकते हैं। हमने दोनों देशों की सेनाओं के बीच नियमित रूप से ज्वाइंट एक्सरसाइज और ट्रेनिंग कोर्सेज आयोजित करने का भी निर्णय लिया। आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद के खिलाफ लड़ाई में भारत और इटली कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर चल रहे हैं। हमने इस सहयोग को और मजबूत करने पर विस्तारपूर्वक चर्चा की। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और इटली के बीच सदियों पुराने सांस्कृतिक और पीपल टू पीपल संबंध है। हमने वर्तमान समय की अवस्था का अनुसार इन संबंधों को एक नया स्वरूप और नई ऊर्जा देने पर विचार विमर्श किया। दोनों देशों के बीच माइग्रेशन एंड मोबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप एग्रीमेंट पर चर्चा चल रही, उस पर जो चल रही वार्ता का विशेष महत्व है। इस समझौते के शीघ्र समापन से हमारे पीपल टू पीपल रिश्ते और सुदृढ़ होंगे। हमने दोनों देशों के उच्च शिक्षा संस्थानों के बीच सहयोग को बढ़ावा देने पर भी बल दिया। भारत और इटली के संबंधों की 75वीं वर्षगांठ मनाने के लिए हमने एक एक्शन प्लान बनाने का निर्णय लिया। इससे हम दोनों देशों की विविधता, इतिहास, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेशन, स्पोर्ट्स और अन्य क्षेत्रों में उपलब्धियों को वैश्विक पटल पर शोकेस कर सकेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, कोविड महामारी और यूक्रेन संघर्ष से उत्पन्न फूड, फ्यूल और फर्टिलाइजर के क्राइसिस से सभी देश प्रभावित हुए हैं। विकासशील देशों पर इनका विशेष रूप से नकारात्मक प्रभाव पड़ा है। हमने इस बारे में अपनी साझा चिंता व्यक्त की। इन समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए हमने संयुक्त प्रयासों पर बल दिया। भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता में भी हम इस विषय को प्राथमिकता दे रहे हैं। यूक्रेन संघर्ष के शुरुआत से ही भारत ने यह स्पष्ट किया है कि इस विवाद को केवल डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी के जरिए ही सुलझाया जा सकता है और भारत किसी भी शांति प्रक्रिया में योगदान देने के लिए पूर्ण रूप से तैयार है। हम इंडो पैसिफिक में इटली की सक्रिय भागीदारी का भी स्वागत करते हैं। यह बहुत खुशी की बात है कि इटली ने इंडो पैसिफिक ओशन इनिशिएटिव में शामिल होने का निर्णय लिया है। इससे हम इंडो पैसिफिक में अपना सहयोग बढ़ाने के लिए ठोस विषयों की पहचान कर सकेंगे। वैश्विक वास्तविकताओं को बेहतर तरीके से दर्शाने के लिए मल्टीलेटरल इंस्टीट्यूशंस में सुधार आवश्यक है। हमने इस विषय पर भी विचार विमर्श किया। एक्सेलेंसी, आज शाम आप रायसीना डायलॉग में चीफ गेस्ट के तौर पर शामिल होंगी। वहां आपका संबोधन सुनने के लिए हम सभी बहुत उत्सुक हैं। आपकी इस भारत यात्रा और हमारी उपयोगी चर्चा के लिए आपका, आपके डेलीगेशन का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
And your delegation.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Her Excellency, Ms. Yogdina Meloni, President of the Council of Ministers of the Italian Republic, to deliver her remarks. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Dunque, buon pomeriggio a tutti. Ovviamente non posso
Good evening to you all.
partire dal ringraziare
Let me, first of all, thank Prime Minister Modi
tutta la nazione
and India as a whole for the wonderful welcome that has been given to us. And this is further evidence of our hospitality, which is known the world over. But this is a further evidence of the deep friendship that is uniting our respective countries, and we are celebrating 75th year of such relations. And this has also been proven by the fact that this is my first bilateral visit in this region ever since I took office. And we want to further boost this relation, and this is the reason why we have decided to turn our partnership in a strategic partnership, because we have a very solid relationship. Just let me mention the trade relation. Let me just mention that in terms of trade between Italy and India, we have reached the record figure of almost 15 billion euros, which we have almost, and in 2 years we have more than doubled this trade. But we firmly believe that we can do even more than that. We firmly believe that for instance, reinserting direct flights between India and Italy can facilitate trade and investments. And this is a strategic choice that we are making here, because, as you know, the Italian government has decided to project intense activism in the Mediterranean Sea. And when we talk about the enlarged Mediterranean, this means that it also includes this area, because the Mediterranean Sea is interconnected with the Indo-Pacific, and we want to further increase this interconnection. We have many similarities. We are two peninsulas. We are 2,000-old tradition, relatively younger states, regions which have hard fought for their independence, for their freedom. So I think that there are many elements which bring us close to each other for the preservation of identity, which is one of the basic conditions to preserve the rights of one's own people. So there's a lot to be working on together, starting from some sectors where we want to enhance our cooperation. Let me mention defense, which was mentioned by the Prime Minister, and energy security. India has set up major objectives in this connection. India wants to work in terms of energy coming from renewables, and I think this is a very smart decision, and this is a sector wherein we can cooperate, and we have full convergence on this. And then we have to mention digital transition. We are working on very important projects which are connecting our two respective countries on this. And then emerging technologies, cybersecurity, space. These are all strategic issues, sectors in which we want to work together, and I think that much more can be done. We, as the Prime Minister was saying, we have decided to adhere to the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, and we have done so because we firmly believe that in an international scenario, which has to be based on rules of respect of sovereignty and territorial integrity, it is very important to guarantee stability and the vision of an Indo-Pacific which is open and respectful of the rules of sovereignty and of integrity of the nations. And this now brings me to another topic, the major shock that nations have been facing, the pandemics, and today the international crisis with the Russian aggression on the Ukraine, the impact on world security, the world order which is based on rules, and food security, energy security, especially for more vulnerable countries. These are issues which become of the essence where now that India has the presidency of the G20, because I think that India can very well represent, in terms of even of leadership, represent the requirements of the countries of the global south. And we definitely do want to give a helping hand along this process to India. Prime Minister Modi knows very well Italy's position, which is giving full support to the territorial integrity of Ukraine, and we both hope that India, having the presidency of the G20, may play a central role in facilitating a negotiating process for the cessation of hostilities for a just peace. And I think that in the previous Bali G20 summit, it has been important to hold the multilateral community united, and we hope that the Indian presidency can do even more on this and further confirming our friendship. So Prime Minister Modi knows that he can rely on us, on our cooperation, full round support for the upcoming G20 Indian summit, G20 summit. They can rely on Italy, on our government, to further enhance our relations. I firmly believe that there's a lot that we can do together, and I'm not sure if this will lead me to the approval rate that the Prime Minister Modi has reached. I think he's the most loved one of all around the world, but I mean, this has really proven that he has been a major leader, and congratulations for that, Prime Minister.
This concludes the press statements. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
A press statement issued by both the Prime Minister and the Italian Prime Minister. The first woman Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni. You just heard her. She is the keynote speaker at Raisina Dialogue. That's New Delhi's flagship conference on geopolitics and geoeconomics. This meeting took place at the Hyderabad House. You heard both of them. Well, a far-right leader, Giorgia Meloni, is the first woman Prime Minister of Italy, was elected under tumultuous circumstances. All eyes were on this meeting between Giorgia Meloni and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She delivered the keynote speaker at the Raisina Dialogue. All right, we're going to try and connect to my colleague Geeta Mohan, who's going to be joining us from the Hyderabad House, getting us the latest. But lots going on, viewers, as we speak. You know, at one end, there is the meeting of the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, with Dr. Jaishankar. On the other hand, you have this bilateral going on with the Italian Prime Minister, between the Indian Prime Minister and the Italian Prime Minister. And also, what's on the card is Dr. Jaishankar to meet his Chinese counterpart as well, all after coming in of the skirmishes that we've seen on the LAC and the standoff that still continues. Well, you heard Prime Minister Modi speaking there, looking at deepening ties where Italy is concerned. The latest that, of course, that we are getting in is that the meeting between the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, as well as Dr. Jaishankar has started. A lot on the cards there. One is expecting a joint statement as well.